Hi everyone, my name is Jessica and this is my persuasive speech about mandating comprehensive sex education courses in schools. Young people are going to learn about sex. Now our question has to be, where do we want them to learn it from? From their peers, from the media, or from an educated, responsible adult? Now this is a quote from Tamara Crennan. She is an author and a director of reproductive and women's health. Now my goal throughout this speech is not to prevent teens from having sex, because we all know if they're going to do it, they're going to do it. My point is to provide them with safe ways to have sex, to protect themselves and others. Comprehensive sex education programs discuss things like sexual anatomy, developments, reproduction, protections, and intercourse, and so many more things. Teen pregnancies and STD rates among adolescents is very high right now, as we all know. By mandating comprehensive sex education courses in schools, this would ensure that the teens would be receiving detailed and accurate information about sex from a licensed educator in hopes to decrease teen pregnancy and STD rates among teens. The rates of teen pregnancies and sexually transmitted diseases are very high among adolescents right now in the United States. Teens in the United States have a higher pregnancy rate compared to any other developed country, including countries like Canada, Japan, and Switzerland. Teens in the United States are 2.5 times more likely to give birth as compared to teens in Canada, 4 times more likely to give birth than teens in Germany, and over 10 times more likely to give birth than teens in Switzerland. Also, among these sexually active teens, not many are using protection to protect themselves or others. So among sexually active teens, the rates of condom use has decreased substantially to roughly only half of teens using protection. And only 1 out of 3 teens are using birth control before their last sexual intercourse. So this is a problem right now where they're having sex but they're not protecting themselves, most likely from inadequate knowledge about why to do it or the reason to do it. So as we just mentioned, the sexually transmitted diseases rates are increased among adolescents. According to the CDC, there are 26 million new cases each year of STDs. And among these cases, over half of them are between the ages of 15 and 24. So as I just mentioned, this is due to the teens not knowing how to protect themselves or why they need to protect themselves. And they're getting these diseases and not knowing what it's from. Han Liu, he's an author, he mentions limited sex education, lack of sexual knowledge, and an open attitudes towards premarital sex is what is leading to sexually transmitted diseases among adolescents. So, pregnancy rates among teens and sexually transmitted diseases among teens is growing, and they're not getting the right information or knowledge. They're not getting taught about this stuff in the schools. According to the Guttmacher Institute, less than half, 50% of high schools and less than 20% of middle schools are providing the 16 topics essential to comprehensive sex education courses approved by the CDC. So if these schools are teaching anything at all, it's most likely how to abstain from sex and the bare minimum, like STDs. They show graphic pictures of STDs to abstain from it. Don't do it. But they're really not going further and telling them how to protect themselves if they are going to do it. So what is our solution to this problem? Well, by mandating comprehensive sex education courses in all schools, it would decrease the teen pregnancy rate and STD rate among teens. Teaching comprehensive sex education schools has proven to be effective in lowering teen pregnancies and STD rates among teens. Comprehensive sex education courses have proven to provide safer sexual behaviors among teens. According to the Science Daily, comprehensive sex education is defined as human sexual anatomy, reproduction, intercourse, and other aspects of human sexual behavior. Programs like these are designed to help youth prevent unwanted pregnancies and STDs and have shown to have a positive impact in key outcomes among teens. So these sex education courses are having a positive impact and lowering STD rates and pregnancy rates among these teens. So they're very important to be taught into schools. According to a New York University research, they did a 20-year study ranging from 1996 to 2016 in which they did a research on teen births based on funding versus non-funding for comprehensive sex education programs in schools. The results showed that of these 55 counties that they did the research on, it showed a 3% reduction rate in teen births if these programs are funded. So by funding these programs into schools, it is the teen pregnancy rate is declining. So we know the need. We know that the teen pregnancy rates and STDs are very high right now among teens. We know how to fix this by incorporating sex education courses in all schools. So imagine yourself when you are 12 years old. You're just beginning puberty. You don't really know what is happening to your body. It's changing, but you don't know why. So you're too embarrassed to ask anybody. So you go to the internet. You start looking up all these things and you find some information, but it's well beyond your knowledge level. All these big words and you don't know what they mean. You try to go to your friends. They're kind of in the same boat as you. They don't really know what's happening and so on. So you just kind of go with the flow. Whatever happens, happens. Now, fast forward to when you're 16. You know what puberty is now. You're in high school and you have your first boyfriend. You have been together with him for a year now. You love hanging out with him. And then all of a sudden he brings up the idea of having sex for the first time. And when he does this, you start to go in panic mode. You know what sex is, but you've never done it before. You don't know any consequences of sex. You don't know how to protect yourself. You don't know about birth control, condom, contraception, or anything like that. So what do you do? How do you tell him no if you're not ready to have sex? Do you just go with the flow like all your other friends are doing in high school? Just going with the flow gets you pregnant and STDs. At this point, wouldn't you have liked to have a sex education course back in high school where it discusses everything like this that's going through your mind when your boyfriend brought up this scenario? So these sex education courses would go over contraception use, condom use, how to do it, why to do it, where to get it, emergency contraception if a condom does break, how to say no to a partner if you're not ready to, and so on. And a course like this would be very beneficial in a scenario like this. So comprehensive sex education courses have proven to be effective in lowering teen pregnancy rates and STD rates, and also boosting your confidence in telling somebody no if you're not ready to. Because of these important roles, sex education courses should be mandatory in all schools. My point, like I said earlier, is not to keep teens from having sex, because if they want to have it, they're going to do it. You can tell them so many times not to do it, but it's going to go in one ear and out the other. My point is to teach them safe sex and how to prevent themselves from STDs and pregnancy and so on. These comprehensive sex education courses go over much more than telling them not just to stay away from it. It tells them how to go over condoms correctly, talking with their doctors about birth control, knowing about emergency contraception if needed, and also choosing their sexual partners wisely. I believe that by mandating comprehensive sex education courses in schools, the rates of STDs and teen pregnancies will start declining, and that is the ultimate goal here. So in order for this to be successful, we need you guys. I need you to sign this petition to incorporate comprehensive sex education courses in all of the Washington public schools around our area. And this is only a small start compared to of what it can be with mandating in all schools throughout the entire country. Thank you.